unleashing humanity from the tyranny of gravity. We are LiftPort. Hey guys, sorry, it's been a long time. It's been almost a month and a half since my last update. So I'll tell you about that why in a minute, but let's jump into the stuff that's important. So you knew we were going to Iceland. That was amazing. We got an awful lot of stuff out of that. We'll show you some video of that later. The important stuff is why we went there. So this was EVE Online and CCP Games 10-year anniversary. And this was a big celebration for them. So we want to go along and participate. They brought us all over there. They brought Josh and Chris and Elizabeth and I over to Reykjavik, which was terrific. And you know, big shout out to CCP. They covered all of our expenses for that. So that was pretty amazing. But why did they bring us there? Well, EVE has a very long, several-year history of having the space elevator in the background of their game. Now that's important because they have a 500,000 person user base, a 500,000 player community. So having the space elevator kind of consistently in the background, showing our ideas, but it's always been just a little minor blip. It's always been kind of in the background. So you guys remember I went out to Iceland in November last year. And this is kind of like the beginning of something really amazing. The November trip led to this trip, and this trip leads to some other stuff which I'll tell you about tomorrow. But the elevator has been a constant, if minor, theme throughout the game. And what's about to happen is it's about to be a whole lot more prevalent. So what we did for this trip was something that they call Make EVE Real. Make EVE Real is their campaign that says, you know, in this game we have artificial intelligence, longevity, cloning, space elevators, asteroid mining, warp travel, and faster than light technology. So EVE brought Chris Lewicki from Planetary Resources and Dr. Richard Busse from Icarus Interstellar and they brought all of us out to start talking about the technologies we're working on today that will eventually make EVE real. So that's what we were trying to do, is trying to just communicate with the fans. I gave a presentation. There was something like 800 or 900 people in the audience. There was something like 6,000 or 7,000 people watching online. And about 2,000 people have downloaded the video and watched it since then. So it was a pretty large audience for us. We'll link that in the description here on the page here. But that was like the beginning of it. But while we were there, I talked to their graphic artist people, I talked to their economics people, I talked to their visionary planning people for the game, and it was really great. One of they have a PhD in economics that runs the in-game commercial system. And he said point blank, I mean, it was a conversation between us, but planets that have a space elevator will make more money than planets that don't have a space elevator. Moons that have a space elevator will make more money than moons that don't have a space elevator. Obviously, that's a message I'm trying to get across. And having that 500,000 person player base understand that basic concept is really important to us. And something that's coming, it's still in development, still down the road, maybe 6 months, maybe a year, I don't know, it's too soon to tell. But what's coming is the ability to build the space elevator in-game and have it an attackable target. So you're going to have to attack it, you're going to have to defend it, you want to deny your competitors the access to a space elevator. So they're going to start working the elevator into a kind of a primary theme within the game. And that ultimately is going to come back to us. So very grateful to CCP Games, very grateful to all of the people there that made this whole thing possible. You're going to see a lot more coming, and that's good for our project. So anyway, that's it. That was the first part of our Iceland adventure. I'll tell you more about that later. Take care. Bye-bye.
See, at LiftPort, man, we hurdle every obstacle. There's a difference between difficult, hard, and the impossible. Improbable to put an obstacle on what you do. You can't tell me sky's the limit, cause we're going to the moon.